Alright, the next stroke we're going to demonstrate is called topotoment. It's very important that you have some areas of concern. You would never ever topotoment over the kidneys. You can use the elbows as a gauge, so you would never work on the kidneys with any strokes of topotoment whatsoever. One of the strokes is called slapping. You would never slap the buttock area or in the face, of course. Those would be contraindicated. So there are certain things about topotoment you do have to follow. The first stroke I'm going to show you is called cupping. It sounds like you're really beating your client up, but it feels wonderful. It really helps open up the lungs, especially if they have any kind of lung congestion going on. You will actually help make them cough, and that's a good thing to make them cough. Your hands are in a cupping position, is this fashion, and you cup them. As you can see, I'm using my body, rocking into it. I'm not just standing here. That way you are working your own body, keeping relaxed. This is called slapping. Just hold hand. You can hear the noise change from cupping to slapping. This is called hacking. It's loose fingers. Make sure your fingers are loose. Don't hold your fingers. It's not a karate chop. It is loose fingers. That's called hacking. So back up. Cupping. Slapping. Hacking. Beating. This is beating, I'm sorry, this is beating here. And then you got wrapping. You can hear the noise change from beating to wrapping. Then you have simple tapping and plucking, like you're plucking a chicken. Plucking, tapping, hacking, beating, wrapping, cupping, slapping. Anytime you do any of these strokes, please do some nerve strokes or some effleurage strokes of any kind to just kind of calm the system down. Your topotoment is a very stimulating stroke. The next stroke we're going to go into is your friction strokes. One of my very favorite friction strokes is the palming friction. We're using the palms of your hands here, and you really just palm friction in circular motions down the spine. Using your body, rocking your hips into it. It's nice and slow. And you take it and you make sure that you're going all the way down and really clearing off your sacrum. So when you're working down the back, make sure that you are palming friction right into that sacrum. It feels absolutely wonderful. Another old school method that we work with the sacrum is where your hand is hand over hand and you're doing what is called a figure 8 right around the sacrum. And this would more or less be called a friction stroke because you are going a little faster and you're just moving along, doing this old-fashioned opening of the sacrum, figure 8 movement. So you're making a figure 8. The next stroke would be your sinking in for your frictioning. So the key to this is some students have really long fingers. Their fire finger sticks out more than others. So I'll have them either cross their fingers in this fashion to give your fingers support. Some of them are double jointed. You'll see them doing their knuckles all different ways. The key factor is here, making sure that their hands and their wrists are staying straight. You're sinking into the tissue and you're frictioning back and forth. You're sinking into those erector spinae and you're frictioning back and forth. And you're just inching up a little at a time. And this is where no nails is so important. As you can see, my fingertips are sinking right into that tissue, frictioning back and forth. And you're seeing no nail marks. You'll see some students that do not keep their nails cut short enough, and you'll see actual fingernail marks. That is a no-no in the massage world. There again, sink in using your body, shifting your body weight. Don't let it come from the shoulders. Take it all the way up. Little nerve stroke back. And you'll make 3 passes of this stroke on each side of the body. So sink in nice and deep. You can come in this direction, or you can lock your fingers. Either way. Whatever works for you, as long as those wrists are staying straight. A little tight band right there, so we know that this is something she needs. See it roll off for me? That's giving you a guideline to follow to help take care of this for this patient. Okay. The next one is a crisscross move around the spine. You find the top part of the spine itself, the spinous processes, and you sink in, and don't leave your hands out to this fashion because then you wind up doing your wrist all different directions. Make a fist, find the top of that little bone there, and you're going to sink in behind each vertebrae. It's just like a little twist. Thumb friction around the spinous processes. And you take it all the way down the back. So you're dropping in between each vertebrae. When you get to the top of the sacrum area, your sacrum coming on down is like a little V here. You've got what we call the sacral holes. Since you're doing this thumbing friction around the spine area, go ahead, position yourself and thumb friction, thumb fanning, right into those sacral holes. Opening it out. And if you don't want to do it from that particular stroke, then actually do thumb fanning down the spine. And it's what we call that windshield wiper. You think of windshield wipers when you're working. One thumb follows the other thumb. So this is your thumb frictioning down the erector spinae. Take it off through the sacrum. Little nerve stroke back, and you can repeat that on the other side. So again, as a real quick recap, you have sinking in. Make sure you're sinking in and frictioning down both sides of the spine, thinking of that in threes. You can do the cross fiber where you're finding the tip of the spine itself there on the spinous processes, sinking in a thumb and just going crisscrossing around each spine. Each vertebrae would be the technical word. And or you could do your thumb fanning, where one thumb follows the other, and you think of this as windshield wipers. And then I showed you palming friction. Palming friction can be elongated circular motions. It could be a one-handed palming friction, and this can be done anywhere on the body.